Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? What's going on, David Becker? So you're the same old, and I'm okay with that. And you? I'm doing okay today, David. Thanks for asking. Let's take a quick look at what's happening in the market. Does anybody have any crazy news happening today? Feel free to let me know in the comments. I think the biggest thing right now is Zoom stock price. Zoom stock price is down about 16% today after they reported earnings yesterday. And I'm doing a video on it, so I'll probably be talking about, I'll do a more in-depth video later on. But I mean, I think this is the story of like investors still expecting too much. Both guidance for quarter three, guidance for the full year, and the overall results for this recent quarter were in line with expectations. So it's not like there was anything crazy. I think investors were just expecting much more, which is kind of sucks. But we can see Zoom Video right now is down about 16%. They also just recently, it was recently announced that their acquisition of, what's it called, C9, I forget what their acquisition is, being under right now. What's going on, Fizz? There's whatever, I forget what company they are acquiring, has to go through a longer procedure before it acquires it, and that came out today. I do believe that's the main reason. That's another reason the stock price is down, because I think before that news it was only down about 11%. Then the overall regulators of the United States said they have to take a little bit more time looking at the acquisition stuff. But we can see, let's take a quick look. Zoom cash flow is pretty crazy. Yeah, I haven't really looked at it too much, Fizz, but it definitely seems like this. I mean, I don't think earnings were horrible. Let's take a quick look at market right now. So Dow is down about 0.13%. We have the Nasdaq down 0.29. We have the S&P 500 down 0.17. So I already can see one of the. I also think there was a hype train on this early. Very true, very true. Super hype train. It's the 20% growth outlook, I guess. But Fizz, right? The question was, I mean, I think it was 34% for quarter three and still 55% for the rest of the year. I mean, that's not horrible, and that was what guidance were expecting. So that's what confuses me. Usually, it's when they miss expected expectations from analysts, but they didn't, and that's what has me a little confused. I do believe, like David Becker said, there was a huge hype train on that company very early due to COVID stuff, and now people are seeing that, hey, maybe we shouldn't value a company like this at $100 billion. But let's see right now. NVIDIA semiconductors are definitely taking an Aaron. Yeah, I will take a quick look at Digital Turbine in a bit. What's going on, AC? How's it going? So we can see semiconductors definitely pretty red today. We have NVIDIA down 1.52. We have AMD down 1.3. We have NXPI down 6.62. I wonder if this is the culprit of why semiconductors are down. I'm gonna have to do a big video later on, or just do some research to see why NXPI is down 6.62. This could really be driving the market to some extent. Pretty weird, right? Micron Technologies is the only one up 0.64. It's one of the only greens in the semiconductor industry right now, next to Intel. Right now, which is also up. Actually, no, Intel is down. But we can see most other markets down. Microsoft down 0.23, Apple down 0.57. But most of these stocks had a very strong day yesterday. So I mean, I think Apple had a 3% day yesterday, right? So 0.57, you're still positive on the week right now. What do we have right now? So it does seem like healthcare is the one that's green today. We see a lot of healthcare companies. CVS is up 1.58%. Moderna, is that Moderna? Yeah, Moderna is up 2.37. So I guess people are back into medicine, COVID vaccine companies again. I feel like yesterday they weren't. Now they're back into it. I wonder what came out. And we can see a lot of gaming companies are actually up today. We have ATVI up 1.5%. EA Games is up 1.8. Take-Two Interactive is up 2.19%. I wonder if this is. I know someone shared on Discord today. I don't remember. Maybe someone shared that right now the China gaming population of people under 18 is only about 6%, I believe, or something like that. So I think that might be a reason that maybe some investors might be excited that, hey, maybe this China hit is not going to be a big hit for some of these big players right now. So maybe they're kind of getting back into this market. So let's take a quick look at earnings. Let's see what we have today. So earnings whispers. And Fizz, did you see the C spike to 344 this morning at open? I got so excited. Did it pull back down after that? Andres, what's going on? Can you check DLO? Is that Duolingo? I mean, everybody's getting pretty excited about Duolingo. Is that DLO? I feel like I keep getting asked about that one. Kendo skills was up last time I looked. Nice, Kendo. I think they announced something new. I'll take a quick look. AC tomorrow, Viva earnings. Anyone else in them? Great company. Not in them at all. Today after the close though, we do have some pretty cool ones. We have CrowdStrike right after the market close. I'm super excited. I do want to say the only thing I'm not excited is this stock price. If we take a quick look, CrowdStrike is a bit overextended right now. So there's a huge chance of volatility drop. At the same time, it's just the chance. It's not a guaranteed. But I'm still holding on to CrowdStrike. Have no intentions of selling, and definitely gonna keep an eye out on their earnings. I think that's the only thing that really excites me for the for today. Tomorrow we have Chewy. We also have C3AI, Okta for sure, and some of you guys are in Viva, so Viva is tomorrow. And Thursday we have DocuSign, we have Broadcom. I think it's almost coming to the end of earnings season, which is super exciting because now I get to focus videos on some other stuff outside of earnings. But definitely, I actually already can't wait for next earnings season, and I think it starts in October. So we still got some time. Let me see. Micron is usually one of the first companies to report earnings. So September 28th, so about a month from now, before we start back into earnings season again. And it's so crazy. So let's see. So Andres, you want to take a look at DLO. We'll take a quick look at that. Let me just take a quick look at what's happening in my portfolio. So my biggest down right now, I do have a small position in Zoom. Zoom is down about 16.46% at the moment. And you can see, I mean, it's really sitting at some attractive line levels where I've kind of drawn in the past. So it's crazy how that works. Redfin is down 3.75%. Fiverr is down 3.4%. It does seem because Zoom is down, maybe some of these other COVID stocks like Fiverr are also going to be impacted. Just a guess, just to see how the overall market, right? But we can see Fiverr is down about 3.4%. Nvidia though is down 1.8%. Very overextended, right? I'm excited about Nvidia in the long term. In the short term, in all honesty, I wouldn't mind if this company drops to like 150 in the next month or two, and I can just load up the boat a little bit more on Nvidia. Sorens is down, so we definitely have a big red day. But remember, yesterday we had a super strong green day, so it's okay. Sometimes we have to take our winners when we have to not over, what do I want to say? We don't want to get down when it's red, especially after we had some green days. Apps is up right now, 15.2%. I think apps enter what did they enter? App stock. They enter some form of market. I don't think I'll be down that much today. Yeah, I don't think I'm down much either. I think when I last looked, I was actually up a few $100. But digital, yeah, so they joined the S&P 500 mid-cap 400. So main reason the stock price was going on. Danny, thanks for the support, man. Appreciate it. So apps is up 15.17%. This is pretty interesting for sure. So I'm super excited, right? A video I did about a week ago. Is this a buying opportunity for Roku, Magnite, and Digital Turbine? Obviously, I knew this was coming. So obviously that's why I did that video. But we can see, right, apps up 15.2%, but I think it's still pretty down from its all-time highs, right? Yeah, from its 52-week high, the stock is down about 37.6% still. That's still insane. But pretty excited about the ad tech market right now. So let's see what else do we have up in my portfolio. So space is up 7%, not that big of a deal. Huya's up. Tencent is actually doing amazing. It's up 4.9%. Skills is also up 4.15%. I know this is Fizz's favorite company, Fizz. I know how much you love Skills and their website. I want to take a quick look at what they have here. Just for you, Fizz, all right? I'll check it out just for you. So I think they announced something. So Blockbuster Trivia Crack franchise to create an all-new game exclusively on Skills platform. I'm not, I mean, trivia crack. Let's see. Hopefully Google doesn't show me something weird. Um, do, 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 do. So it's a trivia-based entertainment franchise, and it's one of the most successful brands in the Ethermax gaming division. Zoom stock was priced for perfection. Forward PE is 74. Yeah, I agree, right? And I was actually just looking at valuations. Let's see if I have it here. So here, I think I have it. So this is all my data I'm working on for my Zoom video. Zoom stock, if we take a look at the charts, right? I mean, this is a stock. Most software companies in early days, they still have a price to sales ratio of about, back then, right, before COVID, they used to have a price to sales ratio of below 10. And pre-COVID, that's what it was happening. Post-COVID, a lot of these stocks, especially the software, jumped pretty high. Right now, the forward price to sales ratio of Zoom is about 17.97. I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated right now. I don't think we're going to go back to those price to sales ratios of about 10 for software companies anytime soon. I think in the high teens, mid-teens, that's usually what we're going to be seeing for the next few quarters. But yeah, we can definitely see how this company's valuation grew like crazy, and why it has kind of pulled back. So hopefully this is a learning experience for some of us who just started investing probably during this time, that hey, valuation to some extent matters. At the same time, I do believe valuation only matters when you're doing big purchases, right? If you did a really big purchase of Zoom here, that's gonna suck. But if you dollar cost average here, 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 I don't think valuation matters too much. So it all depends on what type of investor you are. You can be an investor that only buys a significant load at once, or one that dollar cost average. I don't think there's a perfect way, but they each have their own risk, right? If you're the one who buys a lot and buys a lot at low levels, you have a high chance of getting great returns. So there's risk and rewards to everything. What did I say, Fizz? That valuation matters to some extent. To some extent. Once 5.9 and Zoom deal closes, might be worth if they can couple the service together. Murder, I don't know if you saw. That's the company I was thinking. 5.9. Dollar cost average. 5.9 stock. 5.9 stock is down 15% right now because it does not, after Zoom's outlook disappoints. This is not the thing. So 5.9, I believe the main reason widens after FCC denies streamlined process. Hold on, let me go back to my where I was doing my information. I think I have it. Nope, not here. Here. So here, 5.9 slumps after FTC declines streamlined processing of Zoom merger as deal requires further consideration. So I believe for this reason is the main reason 5.9 is down right now, because it's not going to be as easy as other people expected for this acquisition to go through. So let's see. Still expensive. I don't think forward PE of 70 is bad since their margins are increasing, but I agree, right, AC? I think that's the real thing. It all depends on valuation metrics. I personally, I mean, Murad can do his own thing, but personally, me, on a company growing over 30% revenue, even Zoom was growing at faster levels, I personally wouldn't use a PE ratio for that. That's not my investment style. I know certain investors would like to do that, but using a forward PE ratio on a growth company, definitely not the way I would go, right? I would have missed out on so many companies looking at forward PE ratio. I think on high growth companies, understanding gross margins and understanding forward price to sales ratio is probably my favorite method. Doesn't mean it's the best method. That's my favorite method, and what I personally love to do when looking at growth companies, their margins and their forward price to sales ratio. So ST and ER was today. Did they report already? StoneCo. It's actually not here, but they do. I do believe they reported today. Was it today that they report? Let's take a quick look. Kendall, how did they do? So StoneCo stock. So right now, stock price is down about 3%. It was down a lot more on the day. It's kind of pulling back up. So okay, it seems it was all right. I'll probably have to take a quick look at that earnings in a bit. Kendall, are you in STNE? And let me take a quick look at what else is up. Anything really up in the market right now? It's just, I think just the biggest players right now are apps, space. Nothing really crazy. I don't know why I have Activision still here. I don't have Activision in my overall portfolio. Uber, JD. So, I mean, it seems a mixture of nice green and red for me today. I don't know if there's any buying opportunities. Like always, my purchases are on Thursday. And I mentioned the stocks I'm planning on buying this week. And I'm sticking to it like always. They missed EPS PEG price earnings growth is also useful if the company has been profitable for quite some time already. AC, very true. You know, that's actually one of the few ratios I don't look at too much, because I wish there was. I don't know if there is, but a non-GAAP PEG ratio would probably be my favorite to look at. Just because GAAP earnings, I feel, especially for some of the growth companies that I'm in, even though they are profitable, growth earnings are growths. Their earnings, their GAAP earnings, definitely fluctuate over different stuff. So maybe a non-GAAP. I gotta see, AC. Now you got me interested. If there's a non-GAAP PEG ratio. So Zach, what's going on, Zach? What about Football TV? Let's take a quick look at Football. Did they report earnings? Or are they reporting earnings? I know there have been recent news about Football TV. I think Curiosity Stream is now, yeah, agree, AC. That I do think PEG is very, very useful for large companies. Adidas, I thought CrowdStrike earnings were tomorrow. Right? I mean, I'm correct, right? Today is Tuesday. Oh no, it is. It's not. It's today after hours. I actually just talked about it. So CrowdStrike is after close today for sure. Murad, big fan of this channel, man. Thanks for your opinion. Completely agree. Looking at PE alone shouldn't be the only metric while valuing a growth company. I look at revenue and price to sales and margins. Murad, again, right? Just because, and that's the great thing about investment, Murad, right? Just because I don't use your investment style, or you don't use my investment style, it doesn't mean we can't learn from each other. So that's why I enjoy the investing life, right? Everybody can have a different way to kind of value a stock. There's no perfect way. If there was a perfect way, everybody would just be using that way. So appreciate it. Appreciate the support, and it means a lot. In later stages, not hyper growth stage, for sure, AC. And that's the thing, right? Each metric has its value in different stages of life. So let's take a quick look. Let's see, we're getting a little bit more traction on the chat real quick. Let me kind of answer. So what about Zach? We can definitely take a look at Football TV. Let me just answer a few of these questions that just popped in. And Kendall, I can't believe Stone missed by that little, and the stock price kind of took a hit. There might be something off in the in guidance as well. No, I'm still waiting for an entry, but would love to hold Pong. What's Pong? Not sure which one that one is. Sack or Hut. Is that Pizza Hut, Sack? But let's see. Let me answer some of these questions. And Judo, what's going on in Judo? How's it going? What do you think of ASML holding? So ASML, I'm pretty sure we've done it a bit in the past. If I remember correctly, I like it. We can definitely look at it in a bit in Judo. It's a great way to get into the semiconductor play. If I recall, the fundamentals and everything were looking pretty strong. AC likes it. ASML, best semiconductor stock for non-experts like me. Shovel company with huge moat. That's the great thing, right? That's what you're looking for, right? AC, for a shovel company, the pick and axe. I'm guessing that's what you mean, right? That's the term I use, the pick and axe. But the shovel company, the one that you use to do the hose, blah, blah, blah. So hustle in my game. Do you think Zoom will reach over 500 this year, considering schools are open and students are in class? Zoom will not be needed as much unless another lockdown. So hustle, I personally, it doesn't mean it's gonna happen. I personally don't think Zoom will reach 500. I personally don't think it will. Is there a possibility it can? Yes. I mean, volatility is what really makes this market move. So volatility can go any direction. There's so much unknown of what can happen in the world. So there is a possibility. I would never ever bet against the company going into some crazy prices in the next short term just because of volatility. For it staying there for a long time, I don't think so, especially with the guidance that they gave. I'm gonna do a video on it in a bit, but if we take a look at fundamentals, forward price to ratio of Zoom right now after this drop is around 18. I do believe it's going to stay around these levels for still a few more. I think this is where it's going to consolidate for a few quarters, somewhere between the mid 20s to the mid teens. This is where it's going to consolidate for, I want to say, maybe 2 quarters or so. So I believe it's going to stay around these levels for some time. But those are just my thoughts on the company. But at the same time, two quarters, it's not even a long time. That's still short-term investment. It's a long-term investment. Is multiple years. So at these levels, it looks a bit attractive if you're looking for multiple year time frame and are bullish in it. What's going on, Angus? So Angus, hi Jose. What do you think about China limits online gaming to 3 hours a week? Does it bad for Tencent? So Angus, definitely bad for Tencent to some extent, right? I mean, the great thing about Tencent is their big gaming products are all over the world, not just in China. The biggest question I want to say right now, it's not that, it's just the donations that Tencent and all these other Chinese companies need to give for some time. How long are these donations going to last? When are these donations going to stop? And if they do stop, when are they going to be re-entered again? So there's a lot of other stuff outside right now in China. Again, I still don't mind holding some exposure to it, but always limit my exposure there. I do believe in our Discord channel. They showed how people playing games under the age of 18 in China are less than 7% of the population, or to some extent. I have to relook at it. So it doesn't seem like it's too heavy. Another thing is, I wonder if kids, and it kind of got mentioned in the Discord channel, I wonder if kids are also going to start using their parents' IDs and stuff like that to just log into their accounts and kind of like forget that kind of rule. So pretty interesting to see. I have no thoughts. I have no intentions of selling Tencent anytime soon. I don't know if I have any intentions of buying. Andres, DLO. Oh, yes, for sure, Andres. I forgot about DLO. We'll definitely take a look at that one. David, we definitely took a look at apps today. Buying more. I'm not buying more right now. I talked about my 4 companies I'm planning on buying this Thursday. And I did the video 2 videos ago, so make sure to check that out. But apps is entering the small cap or mid cap S&P 400, really driving stock prices right now. Personally, I'm not adding at these levels just because it's not on my to buy list for this week. But later on it will. Later on I might change my mind. So let's see, what else do we have? Greystone, is PaySafe a speculative investment? For me, I don't know. I don't know if many others might consider a speculative investment. I can see PaySafe, Greystone kind of going into my portfolio as a low tier 2 stock, definitely higher than a tier 3, not a tier 1 at this moment, but I can definitely see it moving into a tier 2 stock, Greystone. I do think Zoom AC is gonna go away for small businesses, and that's what I think Zoom mentioned during their earnings. For businesses with less than 10 employees, and there's a lot of businesses with less than 10 employees, that they're kind of seeing a bit of a reduce there. But I think the biggest effect is going to be on the smaller companies, not the bigger companies. So let's see what's going on. Juno, how's it going? So Kendall, 613 million for the quarter compared to the consensus estimate of 1.1 billion. Yeah, I think that's probably the main reason stock price is down right now. I'm guessing that's on revenue. Oh yeah, good point. Didn't think of small businesses. It is expensive for a small business. Yeah, and especially I feel like most small businesses, now that they have more now that more is known, small businesses are probably like the ones that have easier chances of making everything up to standard in form of COVID standard. If there's a standard, I don't think there is, but up to COVID standards. I think it's a little bit harder for some of these larger companies to do that because of the huge base of numbers of employees that they have. But I think for a smaller business, it's more likely that they already are going back into the office. So the chance of them needing Zoom is a little bit less. I feel like small businesses are less likely to do hybrid. They're either all in one, or all in at home, or all in at at work at the facility. So let's see, DLO. So Andres, just because he gave me, I kind of slipped over him. Let's take a quick look, and then we'll take a look at Fubo TV. So let's go to Simply Wall Street real quick. Let's see what DLO is. I'm not familiar with this company. So Andres, we're just gonna take a quick look at fundamentals, and we're also gonna take a quick look at some of the charts, maybe Y charts as well. So Andres, if you're still here, you better make sure to hit that thumbs up on the video. You better make sure to be a subscriber. If not, I don't know. I wouldn't know if you didn't or not, but I trust in you. So market cap, $18.3 billion. This is dLoco. They operate as a payment platform worldwide. So it's a platform that enables enterprise merchants to connect with consumers in emerging markets, accept payments, send payouts, and settle funds. Okay, pretty interesting for sure. If we take a look at future growth, this is a company expected to grow at crazy levels, 36% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. The company is profitable, and they're also positive in cash flow from operations. So right off the bat, it is pretty impressive. If we take a look at their financial health is also pretty strong. They're coming in at about no debt to their name. You know, if I say no debt, it automatically becomes an amazing company to me. And $267 million in cash and short-term investment. Now, if I take a quick look at ownership, what do we have? Individual insiders own 56% of the business. This is interesting for sure. We have Andres. Andres, is this you? Do you own this? Are you the CEO of this business? Telling me to look it up. But Andres owns 20.37% of the business. I'm pretty sure we have a Sergio in this channel as well. So Sergio is another owner who owns another 20%, and this is both of these are the directors. So it definitely has a nice of insider ownership at the moment. Let's take a quick look. $18.3 billion market cap is not bad enough. It's not a small company either. And they are, I want to see where they are located. They are a United States company. Oh no, this is United States, but here it says Uruguay. So not understanding this. This is a USA flag, but this says something else. But regardless, fundamentals, Andres, looks pretty interesting for sure. Let's take a quick look at charts on this company. And again, guys, if you want me to do any stocks, feel free to post on the comments below. This is going to be DL. I'm pretty sure it's going to be overextended. Yes. So this is the first red flag. This is a recent IPO. So with recent IPO, you get this overexcitement at the beginning, especially if things look really good. We've seen it with Unity. We've seen it with a lot of other companies. I want to say the biggest red flag right now, Andres, I don't think Whitechurch is going to have much information since this is a brand new company. The biggest red flag is this company is a bit overextended, especially if it has expiration blackout period. What's it called? I forget. dLoco expiration. It's not expiration date. What is the date I'm looking? IPO expiration. Man, what is it called? Lockup. But their lockup is in November, so high volatility till then, I do believe. So I want to say, Andres, stock fundamentally looks good in forms of the fundamental stuff. In forms of technicals, I want to say, in forms of technicals, it is a bit overextended, so it definitely could see a very strong pullback. So those are my overall thoughts, Andres, on it. Hopefully it helped. So AC, what's your opinion on Shop? It's very expensive, but could have an impressive moat. No, I have Square, and they are also partly in the market with their seller business. Then again, there is also Wix. Hi, Jose. What do you think about Fiverr now? Good price to. What's going on, Sal? I'll take a quick look at it. Peloton flip to green. Kendall, have you ever looked at AVPT? I think I have. AFPoint. I think I looked at it when it was the SPAC. I had it for some time. I think I sold it if I'm thinking about the same company. Peloton, nice fizz that you just end up buying a nice amount. Are you the whale that just ended up purchasing? But AC, so Shopify is already in my portfolio, AC. If this is my list of stocks, and this is old, right? You obviously didn't see me type it. This is a list of stocks that if they ever drop down, these are the stocks I'm going to buy. So over here, you can see Shopify is on the list. So I'm very bullish on Shopify. very similar to what you think right now, AC. I do believe right now is a bit expensive. So at these levels, I wouldn't mind dollar cost averaging. These are stocks that if they drop, I wouldn't mind buying a very, very big position, like making these a form of tier one stocks if they drop. Making these a good portion of my portfolio at once if we see some big drops. That's Facebook, that's Google, that's Shopify, that's Mercado Libre, CrowdStrike, and DraftKings. Obviously, my tier one stocks are here. They're already a big position in my portfolio. That's why I didn't add them. And these are the ones on the maybe pile. Square, Twilio, Roku. So it's about a 15 portfolio that would probably run most of my account. So about 15 stocks that would really run. I want to say if any of these stocks drop big levels, I would definitely wouldn't mind entering at those stocks. So let's see. Bill Main, Jose, do you have a preference on large, mid, small cap? I don't. I think maybe I do. I think most of my portfolio, Bill, is between the $10 billion to $100 billion. At the same time, I have plenty of large cap. Nvidia, right? I have Microsoft, I have Google, I have Facebook. I have a lot between the 10 to $100 billion too, and I also have ones below 10 billion. I don't. I kind of like it when they're around that 10 billion range. Bill, those really excite me the most. Super small, below 1 billion are probably. I have a very small position between 1 or 2 billion, and those are usually, if they are below 2 billion, they're usually a tier 3 play. Tier 3 plays. I think the only really small market cap that has really made a name in itself in my portfolio is Rents. This has a market cap of 4.17 billion, but it's one of my top 5 positions. And Celsius, but Celsius has pretty much done it through pure gains. It has a market cap of about $6 billion, and this is about 3-4% of my portfolio as well. So Celsius and Sorrents are probably my biggest, smallest companies in my portfolio. So let's see. Honestly, I don't know much about DraftKings, but because of its recent jump, it's like, I think, top 10 in my port. Yeah, DraftKings, I mean, I think the innovation that they're doing is pretty impressive. Could you share your thoughts, Juno, on Chewy? Sure. I mean, I think is Fubo TV still here? Let's see. Zach, if you're still here, let me know and I'll do Fubo. If not, I'll probably go into Juno's Chewy. In the meantime, let me take a quick drink. Oh man. So honestly, I don't know much about DraftKings. I just say it was a good price and heard good stuff about it. Yeah. So Danny, like I'm becoming more bullish about DraftKings the more I read about it. Not just for the sports betting. I think the iGamification world is pretty good, but just the overall innovation the team is doing. I just really like DraftKings. With the overall marketplace, it just shows what kind of innovative move the company is going into. So let's see. Sal, we'll take your opinion on Fiverr. Let's do Fiverr because I think you mentioned it before, Juno. So let's take a quick look at Fiverr. First, I want to take a quick look at price to sales ratio. So let's do Fiverr real quick here. So Fiverr right now, price to sales ratio, if we take a look, it's sitting about 17. Very similar to, I want to say, Zoom, what were we looking at? Very high speculations and not kind of pulling back. Like I mentioned, I do believe a lot of these companies, normally back in pre-COVID, they were sitting below 10. That's when a lot of price to sales ratios about a year and a half ago, anything over 10 was considered super expensive. Now you have companies like this around 17.07, and this is looking cheap compared to where it's been. Obviously, stock prices can continue to go down, but this low teen definitely seems to be some form of level and form of forward price to sales ratio. So, I mean, I do believe the overall, what do they do? Freelance material, that's the word I was looking for. The whole freelance market is still in early stages. I mean, I personally use Fiverr at all. Hi all, missed my flight. Oh man, pilot, did you wake up late? What's going on, pilot? Or what ended up happening? Hope everything goes well though. Best of luck. So Fiverr, for those that are not familiar, Fiverr is pretty much a freelance place where you can go, I kind of used it. For example, some of the logos on my channel I kind of used through Fiverr. You can also do other stuff like voiceovers, people to kind of grow your video, social media. So right now it's a lot of individual freelancers, but Fiverr is kind of moving into it's kind of also moving into a more company base. So if you are a big company or a big business, you can kind of help out a lot. You have a little bit more sources out there. So Fiverr definitely has some huge growth, I believe, ahead of it. Freelance is becoming a normal thing. I feel like everybody I see on Twitter, damn, your emo violated you. What happened? It's cool. They changed time. Oh man, that's crazy. They changed times and I didn't get mail. Went to junk mail. That's crazy. Thanks to the members who schooled me on my favorite company, Tencent, nearly sold. Held after lessons and gained 5%. Nice, Pilot. Congratulations on those gains. Sucks on the trip though. Hopefully trip gets moved on to another day. But let's take a quick look at stock price of Fiverr. Let's do right here. So Fiverr, I do want to say right now it's not overextended, right? I mean, these are levels I haven't drawn recently, but these are attractive levels to me. I want to say if I was more bullish in Fiverr, if I wanted to increase my exposure, this would be the time I would add. Obviously, volatility works both ways, but I do believe right now, for me, it's a strong buying opportunity that a lot of the risk has been eliminated. Obviously, stock prices can continue to go down. If we look at future growth, this is a company that is expected to grow at crazy levels, right? I think over Fiverr. Future growth, this company is expected to grow over 27% on average. They're not profitable, but they are positive in cash flow from operations. If we take a look at their health, they have plenty. They have $441 million in cash. They do have a nice amount of debt right now because they're trying to expand their overall market. Makes sense. They're still not exposed. They're still not leveraged, which overall shows strength in their balance sheet. So let's see, what was another one we were looking at? So Kendall, do you like WDC? I think that's in the memory, right? That's the memory semiconductor, Western Digital. They develop and sell data storage devices and solutions. Very known for their solid state drives, I believe. Not one I'm in, but I definitely think it's one that's needed. I thought under 18s were a huge revenue percentage of gaming market, actually only 5%. Mostly adults. Should not to evaluate Eastern culture. Inspired me to. That is very true, right, Pilot? And I think that's sometimes we kind of think about, even though we're all the same world, right? We kind of consider the Western side to kind of be, especially where you live, right? Here in the United States, we have a huge portion of gamers come from kids. But from it does show that the gaming market in the other side of the world, it's not mainly driven by kids. So ordered a cool book called The Future is Asia, a way to understand how Eastern culture thinks and communist code. That's actually pretty interesting for sure, Pilot. If you get any interesting insights, feel free to let me know on the comments once you read it. Pilot is always coming in clutch with some great books to read and just improve the overall knowledge one has. So let's see. What else do we have? So I know someone else wanted to take a quick look at. So let's actually look at WDC. I don't think... Zach left. I think Zach left. I asked if he was still here for Football TV. But WDC, right? This is in the this pretty much creates like solid state drives, another type of memory solutions. 13.2% revenue growth for the next 3 to 5 years. So not a slow grower. It is profitable in earnings. They are positive in cash flow from operations. If you take a look at their health, they have about $8.8 billion in debt, $3.4 billion in cash. This is a company that's more mature, so they have plenty of long-term and other assets. So obviously, I would have wished their balance sheet was a little bit stronger. I'm pretty sure there's other memory companies out there with better balance sheets, with more cash, but they have plenty of inventory, have plenty of long-term assets. So it's not necessarily a yellow flag. I just wish this was a green flag instead, with better balance sheet. If we take a quick look at this company's let's take a quick look at technicals. The stock price is not overextended. If I wanted to increase exposure, I think right now would be one of the times I would kind of like to get into, because it's not overextended from its moving averages. Obviously, prices can continue to go down. And let's take a quick look at Y charts. Maybe we can do WDC. And let's take a quick look at, maybe this one is profitable. So forward EV to EBITDA ratio. So Western forward EV to EBITDA ratio is actually at levels, at pretty impressive levels. It shows that it's actually pretty cheap compared to forward guidance. So very, very interesting for sure, Kendo. Definitely something to keep an eye out. It doesn't seem like it's overvalued at the moment. Let me take a look at price to sales ratio real quick. Price to sales forward 1 year. Yeah, this company has definitely taken quite a hit. It's not as expensive as it was. It's still in price to sales ratios a little bit not I want to say properly valued at the moment. Yes, missed that as I didn't read any of it. Tencent in Hong Kong rose today 5%. Yeah, and that information is right in their shareholder letters. Was to front. Wow, AC, that's crazy. Because their earnings, when were their earnings? Last week, right? So Juno, I think the overall reason Tencent's rising, I think just the overall Chinese market is pretty volatile right now with everything going on. But guys, I do have prior engagements at 11 o'clock, so I'm going to have to turn this off for now. I hope everybody's having a good day. Pilot, best of luck to you and your travels. Hope tomorrow, hopefully it moves up pretty good or everything works out well. Everybody else, thank you, Pilot, for the support. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Fizz, for being members. Appreciate it. I think we had a little bit more other members. And everybody else that just came and support. HC, David, Murad, Kendo, Juno. Thank you guys. Shout out to everybody I might have missed. But thank you guys. Have a good day and see you tomorrow.